What's going on, people? Welcome to your Connect podcast with your boy Busy B. I'm coming to y'all today on a somber note. Um, I had time to digest some things in the last couple of days, and I should say the last 10 days to a week, uh, over the death of George Floyd. I wanted to come to y'all and speak on, give y'all my perspective, speak on my behalf as a black man living in the world today. I feel as though we all must do our parts, and we have been doing our parts to try to change what's going on. At the end of the day, I was going to come to you with a bunch of notes and, things that I was going to write down and try to put in a great perspective, but I just wanted to speak on it from the heart. That's why I'm coming to you guys, just so I can, full heart. Not full heart with a hatred or anything like that. It's anger inside of it. It's disappointment. It's disgust. And etc. So, at the end of the day, when we look at it, a man had the cops called on him for a fake $20 bill that they said he tried to buy cigarettes with. Well, damn, if you knew he was trying to buy cigarettes with it, then you should have never sold him the cigarettes. The cops came. At that point, I forgot the name of the last name of the passenger that was in the car with George Floyd, but I believe his first name was Maurice. And he told a story where as though, they went over to George Floyd's side of the driver's side and continued and tried to basically break down his window of the car. I'm not sure if they were intimidated by his size, by him just being a black man. I'm not sure if they were intimidated by any of that. But for some odd reason, this man was dragged out of his car by mainly white police officers. No, by only white police officers, I should say. And don't get me wrong, because I'm not saying all cops are bad. I have family members that are cops. A lot of people say they're a bunch of bad apples. Well, shit, to me it feels like a barrel of them at times. With what you see going back to Eric Gardner, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Michael Brown. Shit, going all the way back to Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, and etc. It's just one of those disappointing things that you got to keep naming us as black people over and over again for either getting racially profiled, systemic racism, which is still involved, is still in the world as we know it nowadays because people just have very black hearts. And it's coming to every year it seems like we're naming more and more people that have been gunned down either by police officers or being racially profiled by another race. So as I was saying, going back to George Floyd, by him just getting the cops called on him, and like I said, I wasn't sure if they were intimidated by his size. But at the end of the day, the man is saying to y'all, we can have a conversation. We can have a conversation with whatever's going on. We can have a conversation. You don't have to drag me out of my car. Like, what am I being arrested for? What am I being arrested for? Or what or what they would call it, detained at the time. What am I being detained for? For no reason. They're not giving me a reason for why I'm being detained at all. Set him on the side of the store, I believe, which he still was confused by why. You could see video cameras pointing at the scene, pointing at them at the scene, whereas though it was things going on, but you just don't know what was being said because there was no audio being recorded. Now, from them having him sitting on the side of the store to being transferred over to the police car, being transferred over to the police car, to sitting in a police car, to coming out the police car, whatever conversations they were having. I mean, this is the shit that kind of annoys me, that starts to get me upset, because you speak on it and it's what you see. And it just wasn't right. So, you get to that point, and before you know it, there are 3 officers. One's kneeling on his neck. Derek Chauvin, yes, I called out his name. Derek Chauvin, he's kneeling on his neck at the point to the man where as though he's saying, I can't breathe. Blood is coming out of his nose. Crying for his mom. I can't breathe. And the more you look at the video, shit, you see the officer as he's looking down at him, hand in pocket. You understand what I'm saying? Hand in pocket. Looking down at him. Looks like he's pressing his knee more into his jugular. Not into the side of his head or anything like that. Into his neck. Cutting off his airway. And the other 2 officers kneeling on his back and on his legs. While he's not even resisting arrest. He's in handcuffs. He's in handcuffs. And then you have a 3rd officer, or a 4th, I should say, who you as a known being a minority, as a known being a minority, sitting up there trying to block people from taking a video, or yelling at people that are out there, telling y'all to get off of them. Asking you, do you think this is right? You're regurgitating by asking people, do they live in Minneapolis, Minnesota? And people are telling you, yes, they're from Minnesota, but you're doing nothing to stop it. You have a video that come out like this for 8 minutes and 43 seconds. He's got a knee pressed against his neck. 2 minutes and I believe 35 or something like that. Some odd change. He was unresponsive. So you got your knee on the man's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, I believe. That's what it was. In 2 minutes and 35, 53, whatever seconds, he was unresponsive. Wasn't breathing at all. Dead. And you knew it because as a police officer that's supposed to protect and serve every community, not one of just your race, but all communities. That's what you placed your hand on the Bible for. Put your hand over heart and raised your hand. Raised your right hand up to God. And said that you were protect and serve. Not only your community, but all communities, all walks of race, all ethnicities, all backgrounds. But you didn't. You were a racist cop that had a long rap sheet. At the end of the day, he had a long rap sheet of him doing other things against minorities, shootings. He had a long rap sheet, and he shouldn't even have been on the force. If you're looking at me, if it's up to me, he shouldn't even have been on the force. Now I'm speaking in low tone and trying to be calmed down because I'm not trying to. I've been angry, I've been upset, I've been hyped. I'm still angry. I'm still hyped. But it's a Sunday's morning, just trying to be calm and shoot this podcast and get everything across that I need to get across. Because sometimes when you're angry, you're basically shouting things. You're not getting everything out that you need to get out. And then you miss over some things that you want to get out to the people. And that's what I want to do. Shit. Whoever had seen that video, if you'd seen it and you didn't feel some type of way, in disgust, anger, hatred at that time, in heart, if you didn't feel any type of way, come on, man. We've been going through this for a long time. 400 years. 400 years. That us as black people have been fighting this fight. Turn the other cheek fight. Shit is tired of turning the other cheek. Because it seems like they're murdering us. They're killing us. Every year, as I said. Now, sometimes it might seem like I'm putting off run-on sentences, but I don't give a shit. Because there's some things that just needs to be said. Years and years, 400 years. And as I said, if you watched that video and you didn't feel some type of way, then you're a cold-hearted person, man. That was murder. It wasn't like, oh yeah, well, he killed him. No, that was murder at the end of the day. Murder, live stream. Where the hell do we think we can get off doing something like that? You look at things where as though people come across as white privilege. Yeah, white privilege. I had a video shown to me that whereas though it was white people saying that when they get pulled over, they worried about how they're going to get out the ticket, how they're going to explain it to their parents, some young people, how they're going to sweet talk the cop into letting them get off the ticket. They don't get racially profiled. That's what I'm talking about with white privilege. You got to understand that white privilege are not getting racially profiled. Not being able to, not going into certain department stores or jewelry stores and having the cops look at you a certain way or the security guards look at you a certain way. When you're walking around the jewelry, you're walking around the watches or walking around certain department stores. Getting looked at any type of way because of the color of your skin. You don't have to go through that because it's called white privilege. You was born in this world to a place that already had systemic racism and everything else already going on. Racial profiling. So by the color of your skin, you don't have to go through that. By the color of my skin, being a black and brown man in this world, I have to go through that. As I said, been going through it for 400 years. 400 years. From slavery to lynching to Jim Crow and so on and so forth. It's 2020. Like shit. Like, is it ever going to end? You don't want George Floyd's name to die in vain. Well, don't use his name in vain neither. Did it have to take this, a video of murder of a black man by Officer Derek Chauvin? Well, the next day they said, well, the officers were fired. But it didn't take them till 4 days later for them to charge the officers. And at that time, it was third-degree murder, manslaughter, just for Derek Chauvin. Now they have updated the charges another 4 days later to second-degree murder for Derek Chauvin. And for the other officers aiding and abetting, I feel disgusted because you don't even want to call them officers, because were they officers of the law at that time? To protect and serve everybody? No. But aiding and abetting a second-degree murder. To second-degree murder. Okay. Now, let's see if they become convicted. That's the main thing, because you can go back to Freddie Gray, to Eric Garner. Those police officers got off. Will they be convicted? You understand what I'm saying? Okay, they got charged. That was great to see. But will they be convicted? Shit, you just don't know. You just don't know, because of how many times we have been let down when we felt like the Justice Department would have some say so in things that are clear, blink. Listen, man, it's clear as black lines on a white paper. It's a conviction. Clear as day. And they come up out of it. Police brutality. Social injustice. Systemic racism. That's what Cap kneeled for. No, it wasn't about the flag. Drew Brees, Trump. Where's the leadership now? When your country is on their hands and knees begging for leadership. And for people to take responsibility. We don't have that leadership right now in the White House. You have him more of now wanting to take a photo op with a Bible in his hand, which was upside down. You understand? Like, it's just crazy. Upside down, wasn't even holding it right. Had peaceful protesters being beat, walking down the street for him to stand in front of a church. Is that the leadership we're looking for? No, we're looking for leadership whereas though he would fight for all causes, all races. Now, I don't know what's in a man's heart, but I know what comes out his mouth. A bunch of racist stuff that comes out all the time. So will he fight for us with this? As far as I know, no, right now. Because what he wanted to bring out was Marshall's Law, to be honest with you. And for those who don't know what Marshall's Law is, it's deploying the military into the cities where cops and stuff are, who are doing, I should say, some protesting. No, against protesting, I should say. Against protesting, but don't have enough bodies out there to help with the people that are peacefully protesting. And that's another thing that I want to get off. And I don't want to get the murder of George Floyd lost in all of this. But another thing is, you have those who are peacefully protesting, and I agree with it. March until we knock them over the head. Until we knock them over the goddamn head. Because at the end of the day, is this the change that comes along? I don't agree with the looting and basically stealing things out of department stores, grocery stores, pharmacies. These are where your local, us as people, our local grandfather, mothers, sisters, brothers, people with disabilities. Shit, I'm already at a disadvantage being paralyzed from the shoulders down and on the ventilator. Needing to get my medications from my pharmacy. Needing to get to my grocery store so I can buy my food for the day. But if you're going to loot and you're just stealing things just to be stealing them, no, I don't agree with that. And saying it's in the name of George Floyd. No, man, that's some BS right there. That's some BS because at the end of the day, that's not what we're protesting for. We're not protesting for the looting. We're protesting for equal equality, social injustice, police brutality, as I said. And as I said, all cops aren't bad cops. I have family members that are cops. My cousin is a detective. The mother of my oldest brother, child. The mother, yeah, I said it right. Yeah, my oldest brother, mother of his child is a lieutenant, sergeant, or lieutenant, one or the other. So me, rather than get this out there on wax, shit is painful. It's painful to talk about because I said I don't want to get that memory of him lost into what I'm talking about. We're gonna always fight for it. We're gonna always fight for it, doing the right things. Shit, we've been doing it for 400 years. But as white people, are your eyes woke now? You seen the video. As white people, are your eyes woke now? Are you woke now? And basically, we've been fighting with it, like I said, for 400 years. Are you going to take a chance to stand by your black brothers and sisters, what you call us? Now, I have been seeing it, seeing protests in LA, and this is not just Philly, where I'm from. It happened in Minnesota, so it's not just Minnesota. Chicago, LA, Detroit, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., marching to the White House, protesting peacefully, getting back to a lot of things that they need to do. And it doesn't just happen like that, it's global. Talking about Australia, London, Paris, Brazil, Jamaica, global, worldwide, and etc. The shit has happened and shined the light on how we need justice for all. I mean, when you cross your heart, that's what it says in a that's what it says when you read the Pledge of Allegiance, right? But that's what Cat was kneeling for. And people tried to make it about the flag. It wasn't about the flag at that time. It's not about the flag at this time. It's about social equality, as I said. And it's just sad, man. This shit is sad because we're looking at it and it's going on. This is not the first death that has been put out there on tape. We seen it with Eric Garner. We didn't get to see it with Mike Brown. Sandra Bland, you see her pulled over the side of the wall. Breonna Taylor, a police officer, they broke into her apartment, shot her 8 times. Her death will not be lost. Just her birthday, I believe, yesterday. God rest all of their souls. It's just sad, man. It's sad. And I wanted to come out and put this out there because it's time for change. It's time for change. Shit, it's been time for change. It's been time for change. But now, the voices will no longer be silent anymore. I'm hopeful that this will work. That this will work because it has been going on for such a long time. I'm hopeful, very hopeful, that because of what has happened on broad video being streamed, that things will change. As I said, it'll change when mostly white Americans tends to open up their eyes and tends to change for themselves. Tends to want change for equal equality for everyone. For everyone, huh? Y'all got your white privilege. Us as black and brown folks, as minorities of different races, different cultures, we don't have that. It's supposed to be the United States of America, right? What has been united about it? I respect those in the military and doing the right things, but it's not about that. It's not about the flag at all. It's about doing the right damn thing, man. And people see it. They see it all the time. As a white as a white person, are you embarrassed to see something like that? Because if you're not choked up as I seen Greg Popovich was, it's time for change. Time for change. The leadership is not there. So we have to take it upon ourselves as human beings to be leaders. Because you're not going to get it coming from the White House. Shit, that's just not going to happen as of right now. Now, somebody running against him, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work if we have better leadership. But we got to take it amongst ourselves to put it out there. Take our protests to the streets peacefully. Peaceful protesting. Shit, by the tone of my voice, you probably can't tell that I'm angry because I know how to compartmentalize. Yeah, it's anger, man. It's disgust, as I said. It's the cop disingenuously placed his knee on that man's neck. It's wrong. And then you get people that's trying to make it about the flag. As I said, it's not about the flag, which Drew Brees said, and he later apologized for it because he didn't feel the pain that us black and brown people are going through, that we have been going through for over 400 years. But what you said, is it in your heart when it first came out? Is that what you meant? But no, he was asked a question, and he answered it that way. Never disagreeing with anyone that would kneel against the flag. You still don't get it, bruh. It's not about the flag. I have family members that are in the military. You know, like it's disgusting watching the video. Going back to it, and George Floyd, may his soul rest in peace. But it's just heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking to see the systemic racism that has been going on for years and years. And I'm only 33. 33. So I haven't lived going back to my ancestors and my grandmothers and grandfathers. They lived through the tough parts, the lynching, slavery, Jim Crow. Will Colin Kaepernick get a job now? Shit, we don't know. I mean, he's been out the league for 4 years, so is that arm still the same and stuff like that? Will it be about his game, or will it be about his protest? And then they come out and they say, well, we owe the players an apology. We were wrong for having them peacefully protest because they wanted to either fine them if they were taking a knee or raising a fist or locking arms. Commissioner Roger Goodell comes out and says something like that. No, it's not really about that, huh? He knew he was wrong. It was wrong at the time. So shit, what should I say? It's just crazy, man. It's crazy because he was trying to tell y'all something, but y'all weren't listening. He was saying that there was things going on out here with police brutality, things that are being overshadowed, that are being swept under the rug, that people aren't paying attention of, and people aren't being held accountable for. And nobody's really listening. A couple of years ago, Malcolm Jenkins held up a couple of signs, whereas though you had people with false imprisonments being locked away. Us as black and brown folks being locked away for things that white people wouldn't even be brought up on charges for, man. Systemic racism, equal equality. That's what we're fighting for. That's what we have been fighting for. And if you could stand side by side with us and fight with us, shit, I have white friends. And even they feel the video is wrong. They don't understand cold heartedly what I'm going through because they don't go through the same things that I go through or that we go through as black and brown folks. So proud to have a quarterback like Carson Wentz put a statement out there. And other people need to step up. We have a lot of athletes that are doing marches and everything now. The protests will continue to go on until we start somewhere. How are we going to start somewhere? You want our votes? What do you stand for? Equal equality? That's what we're trying to get. We want things to be equal. The shit is sad. Are we going to start voting them judges in? No, we can't start on a higher level. You got to start at the lower levels. Start at the lower levels. Y'all want our votes to get voted in to these local districts and stuff like that? Then we're going to do it the right way. We're going to do it the right way. I agree with the peaceful protesting and the peaceful marching. But we also can't forget that it's still COVID-19 out of here. So you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. Marching, wear your mask and stuff like that. Do the right things. For those who aren't wearing your mask, please put on your mask. Please put on your mask. March in solidarity. Please put on your mask at the end of the day. Because you don't want to get sick. Shit, it's still a virus out here, man. Don't let that be lost. Don't let that be lost as well. Black lives do matter. And until everyone understands that, we're still going to fight for the rights and there's still going to be protests. Now, I see a lot of people, you see some, as white folks, spray painting Black Lives Matter on buildings and stuff like that. That shouldn't be what they do. They should not have to do things like that. They shouldn't do things like that. That should be what we hold what we're being held accountable for. To hold up signs and do things like that. If it's on an abandoned building, sure. On local restaurants and stuff like that, nah, man. No. They shouldn't hold up things like that. They shouldn't break in windows and say that we're doing it in honor of Black Lives Matter. Because if you have peaceful protesters that are amongst my race, that are black and brown, that aren't doing anything like that, then they shouldn't be doing anything like that and saying it's in honor of George Floyd. Because you know what that does? It puts us into the limelight and saying, well, it was the black folks that did it. It was the black and brown folks. Not actually seeing now. I've seen video of the shit. I've seen video, pictures. Come on now. March in solidarity. If you're going to march in solidarity with peaceful protesting, do that. We've been trying to change it for 400 years, as I said. Now it's y'all turn. It's y'all turn to step up. Step up. We're tired. Tired of all of the bullshit. Just tired of it going on and on. From losing lives. As I said, man. Just trying to make this world a better place. And we have been trying. But let's continue to try to make this world a better place. I just wanted to get on here. Voice how I feel as a black man. And what I see, and try to get things done right. All right, man. That's my Truth to Power. You can download this. Follow me on YouTube at Busy B, capital BIZZY, capital B. Also stream it on SoundCloud, same name. And you can subscribe on YouTube as well. Let's get them likes up there on SoundCloud and YouTube. Remember, if you have faith, you have hope. If you have hope, you have a chance. Holla at your boy. I'm your connect.
Get your love when I'm gone, when I've said my last goodbye. Who gets your love? Gets your love when I'm gone. Who gets your love? Othello on the bellow. Who gets your love?